Everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Way through news meteorologist Brian Good here. Before we get into the outlook down the road here, I do want to go back in time to talk about that Henry County survey that came out, the EF1 tornado that was confirmed into especially southern areas there of Henry, right on the border of Shelby. And it's a very odd radar signature because we had, the classic hook look to the system here, but we also had one the opposite flow just south of into Shelby County, and we were monitoring that live on the air if you were watching our coverage, and it was a very odd setup where the two cells were kind of like bouncing off each other, almost like two magnets together in a way, kind of a splitting scenario. Very odd setup, but it was rated EF1. But what was interesting is when you look at the signature on the radar, this is the reflectivity, and the pink is certainly a high reflectivity, and that's because of the hail. The hail sends back to the beam. It looks like very, very intense rainfall, but it's because it's ice. It hits that beam back. So anytime we see the reflectivity really spike like that, it gives us a good indicator, too, that hail is taking place. And that was the case, as a lot of you there know. This is the look at the wind fields on the right-hand side, and we have the flow. But the issue is, though, when you think about the radar beam itself, the wind blowing toward the radar is going to be in green. The wind blowing away is in red. So when you look at it in that fashion, it was actually the opposite of what we normally would see compared to where the radar beam at Fort Knox. So therefore, you get a anticyclonic flow. Cyclonic is the anti-clockwise or anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. I'll get it right. Counterclockwise flows, what we normally deal with anything really spinning in the northern hemisphere because of the Coriolis effect. Everything is in that direction, and it's opposite in southern. But with this radar, it was spinning anticyclonically or clockwise. See, it gets confusing. Only 2% of all tornadoes in the northern hemisphere do that. Very rare event indeed. Glad no one was hurt. I'm glad it's over. All right, so let's move on. It's a cold morning out there. 39 now, 34 into Salem, 35 in North Vernon. We've got a few clouds. Now, again, this is still an infrared satellite because we don't have enough daylight yet to get good images on the visible. So I really doubt a lot of this is even much in way of cloud cover than the Cirrus, the way it's looking right now. So very thin level of cloud cover in the area. In fact, the reporting stations mainly reporting a sunny sky, which is good. Nice bright day today. The Ohio Valley still showing a mainly bright sky. Look at the snow being reported in Columbus, Ohio. Rain and snow in Charleston, West Virginia. Do note, though, the cloud cover trying to stream in from the north, still on the back side of that. So there's a chance we may see another canopy of cirrus clouds that will kind of encompass southern Indiana, perhaps even Louisville, but mainly east of Louisville, between Lexington and Louisville, will be that zone of high-level clouds. Not a big deal, but just don't be surprised if you see more of a hazy sky later on. But we're on the backside of that strong system now heading up into eastern Canada. And when we look west, one thing we note is there's no storm systems developing here in the southwest. That's where a lot of our activity has been the past couple of weeks. We've seen these low pressures roll out. We get energy that combines with that from the northwest as well. And then you get these low pressures that seem to track from southern Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana over and over again. And that's why we've had so much severe weather. Different scenario now. This low is coming in. There's not much showing up to the south. This low is likely going to head more to the north and drag a front through here. But the problem is we're going to have a high here to the south. So that front is going to battle the high, which means it's likely going to put the brakes on eventually and then likely weaken as well. Now, before all that happens, we're on the backside of that strong low, which means a cold flow. Look at all the frost and freeze alerts. For us, it's frost advisories that are out starting tonight at midnight through 9 a.m. tomorrow. If you've planted petunias already, I'm not sure why you would have, but cover them up just in case. The weekend, beautiful. 60 today. Look, a 10-degree jump here all the way through Sunday. Great for Keeneland, great for the Bats games. Looks great out there. And when you look at the models, here's the GFS, here is the Euro and the Canadian. These are the operational models, and these are the ensembles of each, all right? But the point is, and all that, this is for Sunday. Look how they all agree it is going to get warm rapidly this weekend and windy. So, very high confidence forecast and a warm weekend coming our way. Then we head into Tuesday, Monday night and Tuesday, and that's when we get that front trying to move in against that strong high here to the southeast. So a lot of the activity is going to stay to our north, low pressure-wise. So this front's going to try to work in here, but I really just don't think it's going to be able to do much. It will allow for a dip, a slight dip, later next week in the jet stream flow. You see a slight little dip into here as we get across the Great Lakes. So it will cool down a tad. Nothing drastic. Just getting us back Even above normal, really. I don't think we're even going to go below normal for highs. Normal this time of year is about 66. That would probably be the lowest we would drop with this cool wave, and we'll take it. That's good. And then as we head toward Easter, we do note another strong low moving in. Now, this one is going to be one that's going to be emerging out a little further south in the Rockies, so this is one we will have to watch, and then we'll have a strong south wind with it, and that one could be a severe weather maker for the nation's heartland, and maybe even our way toward the end of the holiday weekend. We'll see. The latest long-term Euro came out. It goes all the way out to the end of May, and here's now. And these are the different ensemble members. When it says 50 here, these are all the different members and ideas that model has. Notice that they all have the cold air that's happening now, the rapid warmth as we enter this weekend. And then as we head toward the end of April, most of them have us generally in the 70s and 80s, where you see the blues, that's 50s for highs. A couple of them trying to say maybe a cool wave or two may develop. But as we further into May, around Derby and beyond, you certainly see more of the 70s and 80s dominate the chart, which is to be expected, but a warm end of May certainly. But we may still have another cool shot or two toward the end of this month. I don't see it being a big deal, though. When you look at the CFS, potential for severe weather, here is the bar for right now, and we're looking at the top line here. Very little really showing up. We do have a signature that comes in into May in previous days, so that'll be something we'll see if it comes back in later runs. But overall, it's a fairly quiet pattern, guys. Let's enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend and rest. We all need some rest, right? Enjoy the sunshine.